When I started my engineering degree, I had zero experience, zero skills, zero credibility, but I ended up getting my dream job, and it was actually pretty easy. So today I'm going to show you how I got my dream job with no experience, and I'm going to tell you how you can do it too. So let's get into it. At the start, I was unhireable, and at the end, I became a must hire, and yeah, got the dream job. Uh, Quick plug. I teach all of this inside my school community. So if you want to join and learn how to become a must hire yourself, go ahead and join it and I'll teach you. And let's go over my story and how I got my dream job. So, year 1 when I started school, uh I had never really had like a job. I did a lot of side work in high school. I at one point was like building concrete countertops and just like the most random things, like random cleaning up construction sites or whatever. But yeah, I had no experience, but I liked cars a lot. I kind of had some cool cars in high school, but didn't really do much with them. I was just really into cars. And I was okay at math. So I'm like, dude, I like cars. I'm okay at math. Let's try and be an engineer, an automotive engineer. So that was the goal. Freshman year, I was looking at internships and I'm like, well, crap, I don't have any qualifications. I don't have any experience. How am I going to get an internship? Because I knew to get a job, I was going to need internships. So I think this might have even been before I even started school. Like before my first semester, I started calling auto repair shops. I had the bright idea that if I were to get a job as an apprentice at an auto shop, then that would help me get an engineering internship. And I was right. So yeah, I called every single car shop in that town. Took I got lots of no's, like, why would we hire you? Like you don't have any experience. And eventually someone said yes. It was the last one I called. I had an Excel spreadsheet of every single shop in that city and their phone numbers, and I called everyone one by one. Some of them were like, "Yeah, maybe come down and say hi to us." And I went down and said hi to them, but nothing uh, came of it till the last one. And I got a job at this place called Drock Auto, and this guy, awesome dude named Derek, he was actually a mechanical engineer himself, which was interesting, and he got his degree super late in life. But and he had a separate business which was manufacturing golf clubs. So he also had this car shop where he did body work and basic repairs. So I worked for him and mainly swept floors, cleaned the shop, and sanded vehicles, and occasionally did some repair work. But like this honestly didn't really give me any skills that were, you know, going to help me in my engineering career. I already basically knew kind of how vehicle systems worked, but it gave me something to put on my resume, which I did. So I put that on my resume, and it was very helpful. I also was just kind of living the engineering life. I bought a 3D printer and just started making stuff. Like this wasn't to try and get a job, or I just was doing it for fun because my wife wanted a plant pot, so I just 3D printed her one. And I was participating in school clubs and just doing my school projects. Like this was from like the basic machine shop class where we like this base we what's it called? Well, the thing we milled, I'm forgetting what it was called. It's kind of brain fart to forget that right now. But what is that called? I'm not gonna remember it right now. Anyway, I joined the aero team, which was like, or the rocket team maybe, and here I'm building some fins. So basically, in this first year, I'm just getting experience at anything I can because I knew to get a job, I would need an internship or multiple internships. To get an internship, I would need some sort of experience. So that's what I was doing. So I got all this experience. And I went to the career fair, saw Toyota, and was like, yo, that's what I want to do. So I told them, I'm like, hey, I'm an engineer. I want to be an automotive engineer. I currently work as an apprentice to a mechanic, and I'm doing some really cool engineering projects on the side. I would like to interview for the job. And I got the interview, and I prepared my butt off for that interview. They gave me some info before the interview about what it would be like, and it had to do with like the some sort of star format interview thing. And you can look that up; it's pretty helpful. But I prepared my butt off, dude. I was like, I had come up with all these scenarios in my head that I could, use to answer questions, like experiences I'd been through that I could use to answer questions. And I was like calling my dad to do like mock interviews because he's done a bit of hiring himself. And yeah, I ended up getting the job. So zero experience to an engineering internship at Toyota. Now, once I got that, it was pretty much game over for everybody else because, dude, Toyota's a legit company. Like, I was a quality engineer intern. Toyota is known worldwide for being just like the best quality. They like lead the manufacturing industry as far as quality and like lean manufacturing and Six Sigma type stuff. Everyone looks to Toyota as the gold standard for manufacturing and quality. So, I got an internship there. It was awesome. Did I learn any valuable skills during the internship or do anything cool? No. Dude, I did like nothing during that internship. I would like build spreadsheets for people that needed a spreadsheet to be built and like sit in on meetings and take notes. So it was like, it's corporate America. What was I going to complain? They were paying me like 17 bucks an hour and I got that on my resume, which was epic. So that's the start. I got in with Toyota. And then I went back to school and I didn't stop. I knew to get my dream job, I was going to need to have a stacked resume and a stacked portfolio. So I just kept doing projects. These were both school projects. We built a 3D printer from scratch, which was actually awesome. We like basically got all these, I mean, not completely raw materials, but like we cut down this extruded aluminum. We CNC'd this base out of some sort of hard plastic. We laser cut this top plate, wired it all together. It was epic. And I guess the thing to note about this is I didn't just do these projects, I documented these projects and I then built a portfolio, a physical booklet thing that looked all professional that and I would use that when I would go to interviews and I would give it to the hiring manager or I'd give it to whoever was there and they would flip through it and be like, "What the heck? This is amazing. No one else has anything like this." Other students were just handing them their resumes. So I stood out like crazy. So kept doing that. Got another internship offer with this company called IPEX, and I got the interview because I had Toyota on my resume. If I got Toyota as because I did this apprenticeship. So you gotta start from zero and work your way up. But when I interviewed for this, they were interviewing a bunch of different candidates actually from my school because this was a couple hours away from the school. This is a company that manufactures PVC pipe fittings. Um, and when I showed up to the interview, I saw the other candidates there. Actually, like my best friend was a candidate as well. But I was the only one that had a portfolio that was really well put together with really detailed projects on it. I literally pasted the spreadsheets from Toyota into my portfolio. And so this was an R&D internship, R&D and design. So in my portfolio, I had things I had designed, things I had developed. So like this was like a handbrake for a racing simulator, and that kind of had some like mechatronics type stuff. And in the interview, they could see that this kid had professional experience. He has design experience, development experience, and I can see it right here. And I can't see this from anybody else. So let's just hire this kid, which is what they did. They literally called me back like the next day and hired me. Did that internship, got really good experience there, which was awesome. I worked closely with like the machinists there, and I would create a design. There was some, either issue in in the plant or some situation that they thought could be improved. I'd come up with a solution, design it, and then work with manufacturing to then, I mean, sometimes my designs weren't manufacturable. So then we'd work back and forth and come up with something. And yeah, made some awesome stuff. Okay, went back to school. This was actually one of those designs. This was like a big dunk tank for like 48-inch big PVC fittings, like hundreds of pounds. They dunk them in this really hot oil to make them malleable. Yeah. So went back to school, and this was my junior year, and kept doing projects. You can see here I replaced the engine in a Miata. This was just for fun. Actually, I mean, I had bought this Miata before I started school, and it blew up. I fried the engine and I ended up getting it back from the person I sold it to, and I replaced the motor. And yeah, I put that in my portfolio, and I put this in my portfolio, and then I did more stuff, and I had Everything from here, all of the best stuff was in my portfolio, and all of the job experience, this IPEX, Toyota, the apprenticeship was all on my resume. So all of that combined got me an interview at my dream company with my dream job. I don't say who it is on my content because I still work for them and I can't like act as if I represent them. But yeah, during the interview for that company, I once again had this awesome portfolio that nobody else had. I was the only one. And I showed them, okay, that was for it's for a design engineer position. So I currently am a design engineer for a major automotive manufacturer. You if you drive your car out in public, you will see something that I have designed every single day. Multiple times every single day. But during the interview, I pulled up my portfolio and it had examples of me managing spreadsheets properly. It had examples of me designing and manufacturing things. And it had examples of me taking a car apart and putting it back together with my own hands. So they knew I could just manage data. They knew I could design and develop stuff. And they knew that I knew the systems of a vehicle. What more could they want? They literally had no other option but to hire me for this job. So that's the story. And you know, I mean, this right here was for like a drift simulator, this like handbrake, because I was really into drifting back then, or what I guess I still am. But in college, I really loved drifting and just like mainly watched YouTube videos, and I had a little video game simulator, and I had this Miata, which is another car project that in my mind was eventually going to be a drift car. But yeah, I got the job. I now make six figures, and dude, I started drifting because that's like all I wanted to do in college was to drift. I bought the car, I built it, bought the truck, bought the trailer, started traveling and drifting around. Um, Living the life. I started having a bunch of kids, so now I have three kids, and I kind of gave up the drifting. But now I just like this is me in Scotland, travel around. This is me going to a marathon. So yeah, that's how I went from zero experience to getting a six-figure job. Dream job, epic job. It's remote. I have benefits. I have over six figures invested to my retirement, and I am not even 30 yet, even though I am quickly approaching 30, which kind of makes me sad. But anyway, if you want advice on how to do each one of these steps, how to actually get an entry level job, how to present things on your portfolio the proper way, how to interview, how to find jobs with through proper networking, you should join the school. I forgot whether I already mentioned that or not in this video because I've been talking for a long time, but you can join the school community and there's a classroom in here with the roadmap, and the roadmap has a big video that goes not just over my story, but how to do it for yourself. And then there's detailed videos for each step of that process. So join the school. Um, at the time of making this video, it's free because it's in beta because I'm still building out the resources like the resume and portfolio mastery kit, the networking in interview mastery. So it's free for now, but it's going to cost money later. So if you're seeing this video while it's still free, lucky you. Yeah, if you have any questions about how to get your dream job or get an internship or interview well or how to network and actually find jobs and get jobs presented to you, message me, join the school. Another fun thought that I just randomly had while making this was the Toyota job I got through going to the career fair. The IPEX job I got through like an online listing. My dream job I got through my alumni network. So those are the three main ways I help like guide people to find jobs. I got one of them from each of those ways. So kind of cool. You got to do all three of them. I also have more tips on that inside the community. So good luck. Hope you guys have a good time getting your dream jobs, and I hope you make a lot of money and enjoy it. Peace out.